Hello, China has grounded its entire Boeing 737 MAX fleet a day after an Ethiopian Airlines plane crashed, killing all 157 people on board. Aviation and safety experts from the U.S. are heading to Ethiopia to try to work out what caused the new plane to go down. The jet plunged into the ground minutes after taking off. It is the second 737 MAX crash in 6 months. The plane had left from Addis Ababa for the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. From there, Catherine Soy reports.
Nothing much is left but fragments of ET-302 at the crash scene near Ethiopia's eastern town of Bishoftu. The plane went down just 6 minutes after takeoff from Bole International Airport in the capital, Addis Ababa. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was at the scene earlier. His office was the first to tweet about the crash, expressing condolences to those who had lost their loved ones. 157 people were on board. None survived.
Among the most affected, as you may expect, is Kenya, which had about 32 passengers on board out of the 149 passengers.
It's an emotional time for friends and families. They waited for any news at the main airports in Nairobi and Addis Ababa.
We were comfortable just waiting. We see people coming out. We were sure our relative was going to come out. After a few minutes, we saw some news on Facebook and Twitter just flying Ethiopian Airlines crashes.
The jet had been delivered just 4 months ago and had undergone a major service in February. It also had just arrived from Johannesburg with no difficulties. It appears the pilot on the Nairobi route realized there was a problem just after takeoff and asked to turn back, but then contact was lost a few minutes later.
Mohammed Nur Mohammed is an Ethiopian Airlines staff member. He has had more than 200 flight hours. After receiving the aircraft, we did the first maintenance check on February 4th, 2019. It was a new and clean aircraft.
It is the fourth version of the world's best-selling airliner. The Boeing 737 has flown millions of passengers worldwide since the 1960s. It has been redesigned to make it more fuel efficient. Thousands have been ordered by airlines worldwide.
If you have ever flown short haul, then I guarantee you've probably flown on a 737. It's a popular choice of the airlines. It's a very safe aircraft. But of course, there are now questions, and this will send jitters across the industry.
An identical Lion Air jet plunged into the sea off the coast of Indonesia last October, shortly after taking off from Jakarta, killing all 189 people on board. Boeing is being sued by some of the passengers' relatives who died, and pilots have accused the American manufacturer of failing to warn them how to operate a new automated stall prevention system. Questions are being asked about how two aircrafts from the same Boeing 737 family could crash just within months of each other. Monday has been declared a national day of mourning in Ethiopia, and investigations into the crash have started. A lot of people are anxious to know what could have gone wrong with ET Flight 302, but many relatives say they just want to grieve. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.
And as we said, aviation authorities in China have decided to ground all of their 737 MAX planes for now. Adrian Brown is in Beijing for us. So, Adrian, what more do we know about the extent of the shutdown there and what it's going to involve?
Well, we got a short statement on Monday morning from the China Civil Aviation Administration confirming that all 737 MAX aircraft in China would be grounded. Now, it's not clear how long this grounding will remain in effect, but certainly that grounding has now begun. Now, why does this matter? Well, China, of course, has the world's fastest growing aviation market. The Chinese are very big customers of the 737 MAX. In fact, part of that aircraft is completed here in China. It's where the seats are installed, although the main manufacturing still happens in the United States. Now, according to our research, at the moment, some 9 Chinese airlines are customers of the 737 MAX. There are some 60 of this aircraft that has been delivered over the past year or so, and more than 100 more 737 MAX aircraft have been ordered. So that gives you an indication of just how big a customer China is of this particular aircraft. But I have to add that the 737 MAX represents only about a 1% of China's entire aviation fleet. So this is a decision that China feels it has to take because it says there are similarities between the crash in Indonesia 6 months ago involving a Lion Air 737 MAX and also, of course, the airliner that has just crashed in Ethiopia. So it says because of those similarities, it has been forced to make this decision.
All right, for the moment, Adrian Brown live for us there in Beijing.